Hi everyone, my name's Claire. I just started with the company this year. Before this, I was a gym manager and now I am a carer, which is crazy. The interview process was actually a lot different than I expected because, in typical interview process, you get asked all of these questions that may or may not be relevant to the job, but it was very, don't know how to describe it, enlightening. Maybe that's the word, yeah. It was all very enlightening. Plus, it was also good because there was like questions, things that would pop up. Like for instance, I was just planning on joining on a part-time basis, but actually, after talking it through with the lovely Dee, we after talking like it all through, it kind of was just like, oh, this could be a pretty good and amazing full-time opportunity. So it's always good to have that backwards and forwards, and that's what the interview process was like. Just knowing and getting more information than you originally thought, if that makes sense. I found the recruitment process very interesting because I was expecting it to be a lot more paper-based and a lot more as in theory, but actually we got to we got to see lots of first-hand experiences through like the videos, some accounts and some stories, just like how people have been, because when you do the recruitment process you do actually get to meet some of the carers that are already here. So it's just nice getting to know lots of everything. It wasn't just all A to Z on a paper, on books, so that was really great. Jackie that did my in-house training, she was absolutely brilliant. She's very calm, very relaxed, and it wasn't very formal. Sometimes we go through like training, especially in my experience, it is very formal and very just theory-based. We did on the first 2 days, it was a little bit of paperwork, videos and discussion, talking about everything from the laws, how we're protected, how the people, our clients are protected, what else? Yeah, medications, and just things that you wouldn't really think about as well. One of my very first people that I went into, I was freaking out. I was proper intimidated because I just wanted to be nice and kind and professional. And I think I just got really in my head. But then when I had Tom, he was just like, don't even worry about it, we're gonna get through this. And I had about 101 questions and he was just like, no, don't worry, we'll make the tea, we'll do the dishes, she's gonna be absolutely fine, don't overthink it. Because I feel like when it comes to caring, you wanna be just so almost gentle, like the eggshells. You don't want to, because no one ever wants to do something that harms someone else, and you can so easily do that by accidentally moving them wrong, or maybe you just accidentally make them like a tea that's a bit too hot or something like that. But it's really not like that at all. You don't need to worry about that, and the person that you're with will always have your back. And that's how I found with my shadow shifts, especially with Tom. I always felt like everyone I was with, they always had my back. And you can ask them 100, 1,000 questions and they'll always answer it, and it's not a problem. Yeah, so I was worried about getting into sort of scenarios or situations where I just wouldn't have the experience in, like, even not even work experience, but just the life experience to handle. For instance, I had already had a client whose wife had passed, very sad, and consoling them, that's just not something I've never had to console a stranger per se, but it's daunting, but it's not as terrible as it is because they're just appreciative that you're still there for them in a caring capacity, for giving them food, administering their medicine, just doing that. But also it's so good to know that like you're there, they can rely on you, you are there for them. So if you're ever worried about any sort of more mortality side of it like I was, it's not as daunting as it is in your head. and you can do it. So I thought the idea of personal care would make a lot of people feel sick. The first day I was intimidated. I was definitely intimidated because, you know, it's one of those things. If you've ever been skydiving or bungee jumping, it's just dive in almost and get it over and done with. Because once you've done it once, you just get over it. Those nerves are just gone, and that's exactly like with personal care. It does seem awkward and just really uncomfortable, and you may not want to do it, but just get it over and done with. And then every single time after that, it's not even a problem. And yeah, that's what I would definitely recommend. Don't think about it, just do it. Yeah, so when I did my first shift on my own, I was a bit intimidated, but I just found that being honest with the people that you're trying to help, and just say, hey, look, this is my first solo care shift, and they're more than happy to just say, that's fine. Here's what we usually do. We do this, we do that, and you know, it's all about just being honest. And because you never want to lie and be like, oh, I know it all, because you never really know it all, to be honest with you. And that just goes for every kind of job. This is definitely more life advice than anyway. But you know, and we also got a great team here in the office, so it's no issues to just, you know, pick up the phone and call. A few times I've actually texted other carers just trying to get like their opinion on something, like, hey, I've just had this client, I saw that you've had them on the care notes, what are they like? And they're more than happy to give you advice too, you know. So it's definitely communicating with other carers that you meet and also the people in the office, because everyone is more than willing to help. I think the last thing I would want to say is, even if you're 5% sure that you want to try this job, just do it. Because, you know, if you're having that tiny little bit of, yeah, I could do this, just do it, because you seriously won't, you will not regret it. And you might see me here, and I'm a lovely person to chat to.